What's up, D?
Oh, what's up, D?
I love you, man. Hey, man, how many hats you got, brother?
I have about 19 hats now.
19. So, I don't know. You weren't on here. I already kind of told everybody a lot of things about you that people may not have known. I always say that every overnight success takes 15 years. You've been out here doing this for about 30 or 35 years. So, you've been an overnight success several different times, from BDP to being the official DJ of the Obamas to being a producer, photographer, and now it's the rest of the world discovering what we already knew was an amazing party,
Yes.
your quarantine party. Let me ask you something. When you did it, when you initially did it, I mean, you had 200 people viewing you, and then I think I saw one day it was about 275,000 people viewing you. Why did you initially do it?
Initially, I did it because of I was sitting here just like everyone else. I was a little down, feeling isolated. And the one thing that was, or the two things that I loved the most was kind of removed from me at the same time. That's my family. Temporarily. My family. Everyone's in Michigan and in New York, and I'm here in Los Angeles. And then the music, the DJing. That's what I do. Like I was constantly being on the road, and all I just thought about doing it just to share stories. Like I wasn't even DJing. I was literally,
Right.
I had my laptop with my phone, and I would just play songs into the IG live. And it was a few days later, after I watched the crowd like started to grow and build to a couple of thousand. DJ Clark Kent called me and said, "Hey, like you should really think about DJing instead of just playing music." And I went out. I didn't have turntables. I have turntables here, but my mixer was old. So I rushed over to Guitar Center, bought a controller. It was the day when they finally shut everything down. So luckily I got there, and I started DJing, and then it just took off, bro. Like, it's insane. It just changed everything.
And so once I got on the, a lot of people were like, "Yo, D, D nice, Tony Rashawn hit me, and all our family hit me, was like, yo, go on to D's Instagram for it." And I was like, all right. So I just like today when I called you yesterday, I was like, "Yo, can you come on my IG?" You was like, "Absolutely, D, no problem." I was like, "Okay, well, D nice wants me on his IG to do a split screen." So I put the I put the jacket on. I had the shirt already. I was still in my underwear because you don't get to see anything down here, right? I was
No, I'm
ready to
dressed,
do
man.
Instagram.
Me, I'm dressed.
but I'm in shorts, right? But I
Okay,
was
okay,
ready,
okay.
and then I realized, I was like, wait a minute. He's not asking for nothing for anybody. He is just giving people a good time. And I think that what people can learn from this is a couple of things. A lot of things are overthought. And remember when Khaled really blew up on Snapchat, remember what he said? "I was just home doing my Khaled thing." You know what I mean? Another
Yep.
one and I came to the mall, and there was so many people following me. I was like, "Yo, is Bieber in that store?" And they were like, "No, they're following you." And a lot of people, we always overthink what is natural to us and what we love, and where we are today in society. If you really look at what I'm noticing works, if I put out videos, and I put out educational videos of something I've done 2 months, 4 months ago, people are like, yeah, cool. If I put out doing something right now, in the moment of the time, not super polished, no fly shit around me,
True.
people message you because they feel like you're just being authentic, right?
And that's
And
that's who I am
yeah,
too. Yes, I agree with you.
and
I'm
and
I'm
and
No,
Dad, I
go
want to
ahead,
hear it. I
brother.
want to hear it. I
Oh,
want to hear it.
I'm being authentically me. Like I'm not doing any. The crazy part is, and I've shared this story with people where it was a moment of frustration of like, D, I see you all over the states, man. We're everywhere. I
Yeah,
run into
yeah,
you different places, different, whether it's events or wherever, and it was a moment that I was so used to traveling and used to being on the road. Like I did 400,000 miles last year on Delta, like constantly
yeah,
on a plane, like every day, whether it's to see
yeah.
my daughter. I mean, just before before COVID hit, I had played in New York, opening for Jill Scott at Radio City. At 6 o'clock in the morning, jumped on a flight to Trinidad, DJ for our boy Shaka Zulu,
Trinity. Okay.
and then jumped right back on a plane 12 hours later to go to LA to DJ the Image Awards after party for CAA. And I was constantly used to moving that way, like just always going. So when I was in here and frustrated, because I couldn't travel, I just felt like the universe, like God was just saying, like, just be still. Like, this was the first time in years that I actually just stood still and did nothing. And I was frustrated by doing nothing. And then the most beautiful thing happened. I was able to just share my spirit with the world, and like play music. And ultimately, it kind of hit me yesterday, like when I was just reading certain things, like what we all did together from that initial 200 to we maxed out at 165, not 265, but viewing at one time, which actually the metrics on it is it's like millions of people, because no one is sitting there holding a phone for 9 hours. And when you can keep people there, keep people engaged, it's just incredible. But what we did with that initial 200 people, we changed the world. We changed how people even interact and how we party, just based on these devices, like virtually. So, it's this whole COVID thing is a mess, but the beauty in it is that we still feel connected to one another, and we found we were able to be resourceful and find ways to still connect and still feel like I'm there with you right now. It's great, man.
I think there's so many things that people right now can learn from it in various different ways. So number one, you went from I think it was 200,000 or 400,000 followers to like 1.8 million, right? And you did that in a way of purity, love. You didn't compromise your beliefs. You weren't out there saying crazy things, and you weren't trying to be somebody else that you're not, right? So number one, they can learn from that. Number two is there's nothing new in this world. You're doing nothing new. You're doing something that Dizzy Gillespie did back in the days, and then we went to TV, and then we went to radio, but you found another platform to do what you love. And so people are always going to say, well, things have changed. Things have not changed. You just got to find another way to deliver what you are good at, your magic and what you are good at. And that's, I think, something that all of us, listen, when you go through IG, the music is not coming out as crisp and as great as you would like it, but it's the feeling and the energy. So I don't care what type of speakers I have, it's your energy and what you're doing. And I think another
Sure.
hidden gem in there is that Clark Kent called you, another amazing DJ. Clark
Mhm.
Kent called you and said, hey, here's what you need to do. Then you toss it off sometimes to Cassidy. Then guys like me and all of our industry people, we show you love and we respect you and we value you. And so many people say, we don't get along. We don't respect each other. No, it's not discussed when
Sure.
we love and give props to other people that we value and respect. Because we only talk about when we're talking shit about people or when we're
Sure.
trying to
Sure. I
hold them
agree with you.
down. Right. And so I think these are just a lot of different things that people could really learn from. And I know you're really busy because like me, I'm busier now than ever before. Not that I'm making more money. I'm just busier. But,
Yeah, I agree with
you
that.
know,
I am definitely busier. I can't believe, like, and I'm always in this same exact spot or in this area of my living room where it's like I feel like I've done more work now than I've ever done, like in a 30-day period, like ever. But it's what keeps me going, man. Like I truly don't want to DJ every day on Instagram, right? I don't want to
right.
because I'm really tired of standing up. And when I start playing music, I just can't stop. Like I'll stand there and play music for like 7 or 8 hours because it's really what I love. The thing about it is, whenever I read emails from people, like they'll send emails to my info account, and I read how, look, man, what we're doing, what you're doing through having conversation like this, and what I'm doing via music, it just uplifts everyone's spirit, like,
Yeah.
and that's the beauty of it for me, and that's the sacrifice. I mean, I don't know how long I can stand up doing this, occasionally my back is bothering me, but like the beauty of it is that even though I'm trying to uplift someone else's spirit, the energy that I get back from people uplifts mine, like, and it's like that, the transfer of energy between me and the audience is just powerful, bro. Like, I go into other people's IGs and I never knock anyone. I always leave a comment just so people know that I'm supporting other DJs. And
Right.
I also like to pass it off to someone. I got that from actually Questlove was the one that asked me to start doing that. Quest was like, yo, when
Right.
you're done, like, can I make this my after party? And I was like, oh, bro, like, of course. Like, he made a flyer and we posted it. And I was like, wow, that's actually pretty interesting to do, like, to support each other, to show, like, all right,
Yeah.
I'm done rocking. So, like, now I do it. I did it last night with Brian Michael Cox. When I had a sizable amount of people in there, I didn't even stay on long because I knew Brian Michael Cox is, amazing producer, 8 Grammys, but an amazing DJ playing soulful music. And I was like, wait, you know what? Let me just cut my thing short so he could jump on. And then it flooded his IG, and it's,
Yeah.
it's just great to be able to do that with people, man. And you're right. We don't get to talk about that enough.
Yeah.
But the ones that know, we do know. We do know, like, that's the way it works. Like, you help each other. Like, Clark Kent.
Well, we've been around so long. You end up seeing
Sure.
somebody so long, and they've been around long for a while for a reason. And I think what you just said is the epitome of everybody here that's an entrepreneur or even working in a system. The day that I first saw somebody walk down the block, and even till today, and I listen, even if they weren't counterfeit FUBU, and even if FUBU was out of style or was old and ragged, I feel the energy. I feel so good that they decided to dress their body with something that I created from my basement 30 years
Sure.
ago. And whether it's somebody at a company who has changed people's lives, or of course a first responder, or you bringing joy to people's lives, that's the whole beauty of being an entrepreneur, being somebody who is trying to just change the world piece by piece by piece. And I can't thank you enough. So I want to make sure that all my followers just always try to support you in any way they can, because you are entrepreneurship. Like, you are everybody here who's thinking they need to make the next best heart valve or air brake. No, you're an entrepreneur. You just make energy.
The thing
Right?
that I also that I talk about too, man, is I posted about this like a couple of days ago about, look, just because we are quarantined, like, there are ways. If you have access to your phone, there are ways for you to start a business, to still be productive, to do something. Like, I did the sweatshirt line with Will to donate money to, healthcare workers. Like, we did all
Yeah.
that from home, and I did my own T-shirt where I'm donating a portion of that to more healthcare workers. Like, that's just my thing. Like, people on the front line, and it's all done. I mean, I actually want to show you, like, it's all
Yeah.
done
Come on, man.
here at home, where it's like, look, bro, this was like where I had my photos against the wall, like, I moved everything around to make way for this, like, I have
Right.
like my laptop being held up by my favorite books. I'm a photographer,
Yeah.
so I have like my books here, and like, Will Smith sent me a bunch of water. The speakers are on my chairs and being, elevated with boxes of water.
You're
Like,
using this
like
water
I was just
for your
using,
speakers. Yeah.
yo, I mean, he sent so much water, man, but I was literally using everything around here to, like, just to get this done, to do the good
Yeah.
work, bro. Like, to play music, to keep people's spirits uplifted. And it didn't matter. Like, you can't order this stuff now. Like, I can't even order a regular desk or anything to set up my gear. So I just started to deconstruct everything. Like, all right, cool. When I have my wine, it's like this little rack that I had in the closet for my socks. I took the socks out and used that to keep my wine and my glass elevated. And it's okay though. It's like, I know what I'm doing and what other DJs are doing. And even if I don't agree with some of the stuff that's out there, like, like Tory Lanez, like, he credited me for him starting his quarantine radio.
Yeah.
I mean, his quarantine radio is out of control.
Woo!
It's out of control. But the fact that even my generation and generation after and his generation are paying attention to what's going on, it's just a beautiful thing, man. And I'm just humbled by this entire experience.
Yeah, art is a matter of expression, and you can't doubt anybody's expression. Maybe you may not agree with it, but who are we to say what expression is right or what expression is wrong? So I just wanted to
Sure.
thank you, man, for spending time with me and letting us share with the world, like, some of the lessons to learn behind the good vibes and the energy and all the things that they can do for themselves. And and maybe we'll make them just a little bit smarter today, like I'm getting a little
Sure.
bit smarter from you.
Likewise, man. Everything, well, a lot of what I'm doing now is because I paid attention to what you were already doing from day one. I feel like you're one of our most brilliant minds, and you're a kind person. Like, and that's the God's honest truth. You've always, from day one, like, I'm glad that people actually get to see this side of you, because from day one, you've always just been a genuine dude, man. Like, so I appreciate you, and thank you for having me on your
Uh,
platform.
Thank you, brother. And listen, whenever I'm out of the clubs, I'm not out there dancing. I know people are like, yo, why you 50 and change going to clubs? But I be right there in the DJ booth with you, like a groupie, just chilling
No
behind you with
doubt.
a little drink, just getting it pot because the energy's
Always,
great.
I'm
So.
always welcoming. Like, yo, D's here. Like, and I love getting the text messages like, wait, are you working tonight? Where are you? And it's like, all right, I feel a sense of pride when it comes to it, because look, bro, you can party with anyone that you want to, and the fact that you choose to be where I am because you appreciate the music that I play before the world saw it. You know what I mean? Like that.
Yeah.
That's just great. And another thing that's actually beautiful to me is that, bro, I'm actually playing what I love.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not being anyone else. I used to think, this is another lesson that people should take from this too, man. It's like, as a DJ, I used to feel like, as an older DJ on top of that, I'll be 50 this year. And,
God is good. Yeah.
playing live and playing, and you know what I mean? Like, no disrespect to any of those venues, because they were part of the reason that I'm able to do what I'm doing now, because I learned a lot from playing in these venues where I had to just play what other people loved and I had to figure them out. I feel like, and this is so crazy, that just recently before COVID hit, I was like, man, I don't know how much longer I actually want to do this. Like, it's cool. I love the traveling, but like, I really want to just be able to spend time at home and like figure this
Yeah.
out and whatever is next in my life, and focus on photography and write my book and like,
Why you ain't want to
and,
play who do mother bitch shit bitch
no, I
mother
didn't,
bitch shit bitch? You ain't want to play that every day all night?
nah, not every day, man. And the
Okay.
fact that this took off with me playing Sister Sledge and playing Chic and you know Funky Sensation and all of these records, and I can still play Anderson .Paak, and I can still play YB and Corday, or I could do an old school set. Or like yesterday, I had Manic Mondays where I just played like 80s pop record, and it was still
Yeah.
like the crazy people in there. Just means that I can be authentically me, and that
Yeah.
people will accept me for that. So I can tell you, even like once this is over, I can never go back to being that club DJ ever again. It's you, when you rock with me, you're rocking with me because you need to hear this style of music that I've given you, and I'm happy to turn things down now.
I, I felt the same way. When I became a public speaker, I felt intimidated that if I'm speaking at Harvard and stuff like that, I'm speaking in front of professors. I'm speaking in front of, really geniuses. And I felt I had to dress a certain way, and I had to put it in and use big words that I barely knew. And I went, wait a minute. I don't care. I'm from the streets. I could just say, I don't care if you think I'm right or wrong. This is what happened to me, and this is my experience,
True.
and I just want to share it with you. And you can never, ever tell me what didn't happen in my life and how I experienced it and I felt it, and I'm going to share it with you. You can break it down as analytical as you want, or you can say the crowd doesn't want to hear that, but that's exactly what I'm going to do. And, people resonated with that,
Absolutely.
so.
Yeah, man. So I'm glad you shared
All
that, and
right.
I'm glad to be able to share this story with everyone, brother. Love you, man. Love to
You
the
got it,
family
man.
too.
Love you. You guys.
All right.
Same to you, man.
Peace.
Stay safe. Thank you.